Hello Capricorn, thank you for coming back. If you're a returning subscriber, nice to have you back. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. This is a general reading. It might have elements that apply to you, but it could also apply to somebody else that you're close to at this time. So you could be seeing this in somebody else. If you have an aspect of your chart, like a moon sign or an ascendant, which is very strong and it's a different sign, and you know it does affect your makeup, then please feel free to cross-watch to my other videos to get more insights that may be applicable to you. I use the 12 houses of the zodiac. So as the cards are appearing in each house, then those are the influences that are coming to bear for you at this time. So now in the first house, we have Saturn return age. So Saturn is your ruling planet anyway, so you will be fully aware of the Saturn energies. It's fully integrated into you, into your sun sign. So now with Saturn return age in your first house, the first house is everything to do with the self. So this is your physical body, your vitality, and your appearance, how you appear to yourself and how you appear to others as well. It's all your self-oriented interests, everything to do with you. It's also what you project to other people, what you project outwards, your persona, your outer persona. And for some people in the early stages of their life, that will be their ascendant. That kind of does have a say as well, up until about 40, and then after that your sun sign really does assert itself in any case. But it's also, how you are perceived by other people, so your observable characteristics, your personality, and so on. So now with Saturn return age, what it is saying to you is that the age of wisdom and maturity and understanding is upon you now. So it doesn't matter what age you are, this will be the energy that is coming to you at this time. So this can be quite a heavy energy because it really is about responsibility and about maturity. So whatever has happened in the past for you, and you could be in the later stages of your life where a Saturn return is really, really important, because a lot of what has been undone or has not been dealt with correctly can come back to you to be dealt with. But if you're in the earlier stages of your life, Saturn normally takes about 29 years to go around, and then it comes back. So what it brings with it is this energy of correction, taking a really long, hard look at everything, be very realistic, very jaundiced eye. You take stock of you and what is going on around you, and you really do an assessment of what has stood the test of time, really. So what has really stood the test of time for you, what has really worked and what hasn't. And some things that haven't worked may really come up for attention now as well. So really what you're trying to do is you're trying to make an assessment to cut away what is no longer serving you. So you may have a feeling of running out of time as well, because it does bring that to you. It brings pressure and pressure to change, to make correction, take responsibility for your own goals and your own dreams. So you may have put your family's needs and things first, and now it's time to take stock of what is right for you and to make your own assessment and go after your own goals and dreams. Ultimately, that is what Saturn is about. Saturn is about you building a very strong foundation for your dreams and your goals, all right? So if anything shaky, anything wobbly, anything that hasn't really been built firmly will fall away at this time. It could bring a bit of disappointment in for you as well. You could look back and think, well, that didn't work, and now what am I going to do, or didn't I do enough to sort that out? So you may be building from a loss as well. Something may fall away and then you've got to now rebuild. But always that is a good thing, because if it didn't have a very strong foundation to begin with, then it's not going to serve you in any case. So best that it falls away, so that you can really take a long, hard look and build something which is going to work for you. You may also be dealing with age issues. So this is age in the body, looking older, feeling older in your body. So this is your teeth, your bones, your skeletal structure, the tendons in your body, your ligaments, all the hard structures of the body as well. all of that may be requiring attention. So you could have dental issues which you need to deal with, or you need to just go to the chiropractor, or you need to look at your vitamin D and your vitamin, your calcium and your magnesium, all of those elements to boost your body, to give your body the strength that it requires. But also this card is about putting the past behind you. So if you're an older person and you're now looking at everything, very strongly, and you're seeing something that needs correction, well, now is the time to do it. In the second house, we have Virgo, I analyze. Your second house is your house of income, the money that's coming into you. It's the house of your self-worth and also your values, what you value in yourself, what you value in others, and in your possessions, because this is the house of ownership as well. So all of that comes in, and I feel with Saturn return age in your first house, this is going to certainly influence the rest of your chart, and it's going to manifest in here as well, because it's very much about maturity and handling money, taking responsibility, and your self-worth as well, how you look at yourself, how you see yourself in the world, what needs to be changed, what didn't work before, what has now fallen away, and so on. So this is the analyzing element of this card. Virgos are wonderful for that. They really are wonderful at sifting and sorting and categorizing and seeing what is working, what isn't working, and making an analysis of that, and then moving forward. You could also, with this card coming in, it could also be a worrying energy coming in, because Virgos can do that as well. So it's an overactive mind, over-analyzing. The other elements that can come in this is nitpicking and criticism as well. So this could be of self and of others. You need to rather focus on the higher qualities of Virgo, which is about getting organized, evaluation, releasing what is not working, also decluttering, whether that's emotional stuff that just isn't right for you anymore. So how you've looked at yourself, your self-worth, get rid of emotional clutter, get rid of other people's views and their opinions of you, because your own opinion and your own view of yourself is the most important. So it's an emotional declutter, it's a physical declutter, and it's a material declutter. That is what the energy of Virgo brings in. It's also about finding useful and helpful solutions for yourself and for others, because Virgo is very much a service-oriented sign. So, but you need to be in service to yourself as well. So you need to actually be in service to yourself, look at yourself, boost yourself in any way possible, and reorganize your life so that you are finding value at this time. Then in the third house, we have Aquarius, I know. So this is the house of communication. It's the house of short trips, local journeys. It's also the house of documents and contracts. So these are important things, all written things. So the communication covers all forms, all aspects. So this can be written, verbal, online, however you do it. It's also body language, and it can be to everybody, to specific people, relationships that you have. It's also, family members like aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, relatives, and even neighbors. Your neighborhood and your local environment comes in on this as well. Early education. So with Aquarius, I know, basically this card is it's got a very futuristic bent to it, okay? So you're going to be, in this house, you're going to be getting sort of glimpses of the future. So whether this is with a relationship, or whether, your communication, how you're communicating with others, perhaps it's part of your profession, or it could be the way you're seeing the way things are going to go. You're getting glimpses of the path, the way forward, or of how things are going to unfold. It could also be really helpful from a business point of view. It could also be the public. You're seeing the way things are moving. And trends, your trends and other people's trends as well. It could also be, with those specific relationships that I mentioned, or in your neighborhood. Perhaps you're just seeing the way things are going now. Technology comes into this, and this could be, it's normally an upgrade. So it's cutting edge technology, but if that is out of your reach, then it could just be an upgrade for you in some way. Perhaps you're using technology differently now. Electronics, science, anything like that. This is a very reasoning energy, idealistic, unemotional. So you're either bringing that into your interactions or you need to bring it into your interactions. You may also be meeting people that are very different and unconventional. They're just very different from you. They could be exotic. They could have a different sexual orientation. They could be of different race, different culture. They're just very different. And so you're coming into contact with them and learning from them and interacting with them. You could be meeting cutting-edge people in your profession or in some way. You're also, if you're trying to bring an idea into being, whether it's a business or launching something or something that you want to try, an idea that you're trying to sort of push forward, then you can expect support from friends and alliances that you have around you at this time. Then in the third house, we have Mercury retrograde reinvention. So the fourth house is your house of home, your physical home, the actual structure. It's also the atmosphere in the home and also the people in your home. It's also very much to do with your relationship with your family, your foundation, your roots, your ancestry, your ethnic identity, and so on. It's your relationship with all of those people and that whole system that you've sort of emerged from. So now, with the Mercury retrograde reinvention coming in, this card is it's not a time for bold action on ideas or launching things or taking on new projects and so on. You need to postpone major purchases if possible, or big actions. Because with this card coming in, it's a time to review what it is that you're doing. So it could even be renovation. So of your actual physical home. So renovation, there's a revision required, a review, even a rewire, anything with a re in front of it, okay? So just put off whatever you can until this energy has passed, because it's a very unpredictable energy. Things could go wrong. There can be misunderstandings, misinterpretation, emails get lost, and something that you purchase doesn't function, you have to take it back. There could be delays or mistakes and changes, unexpected changes as well. So just be careful with all of that. Back up your electronics and your technology and all of that. But it really is not a time for bold action at this time. This is a time to go over your plans again, triple check. Because somewhere in there's something that needs revision, or you may come up with a much better idea. In fact, you will come up with something much better than what you had to begin with. So it would have been not a good idea to launch that, because something in there, some element of it isn't right. And so it's a time to sort of revise everything. Something or someone may also be coming back to you at this time during this period as well. Coming back into your life. In the fifth house, we have another Saturn card. So this is the fifth house. The fifth house is your house of all recreational activities, any kind of activities that you enjoy. So it's sports, recreation, could be handcrafts, anything, any kind of activity which is fun and outgoing and enjoyable for you. It has a speculative aspect, so that's gambling and also stock market, that sort of thing. It's also the house of creativity. So this is your creativity. Creative projects, anything that you're busy with at this time. It's also the house of children and love affairs. So these could be your children or children that you're associated with this time, or and a love affair that you're busy with right now. So and all the romance that goes on around that. So now Saturn Truth is not a particularly romantic card or a particularly fun card coming in. So this is quite a serious look at what is going on in this house. You may need to restructure some things. You may need to face a few things as well. This is what Saturn is. It's all about facing things, taking responsibility, being realistic about what is going on in this house. So it's taking a restricted, you may be feeling restrictions at this time, and there's some sort of correction that needs to be done, or truth needs to be brought in, or rebuilding, okay? So something needs to be rebuilt or reorganized. So whatever didn't have a very good, strong foundation will fall away, and you need to, rebuild it or start again. So make it or break it. You could be overcoming difficulties in some way. This card also brings in issues to do with authority figures or the authorities, and it's about taking, being disciplined as well in whatever you're doing. There's some work to be done in this house. So this could all be affecting your children, and you are seeing this. Perhaps they're tackling some sort of course of study, or they're going through a particularly tough time at this juncture. Perhaps they've got a lot of exam pressure, being the end of the year, or something going on, and you're living it through it with them, or it could be you. Or it could be a love affair that is just taking a little bit of strain at this time, or there isn't anybody around at this time. Or it could be that you just want to do a lot more activities in your life, and you're just restricted at this time for whatever reason. Okay, but something needs to be restructured in this house. Something needs to be reorganized, restructured, and to make way for new things, and to lay really good solid foundations for better achievements in the future. So it could also be that you have an authority figure in this fifth house. It could be a mature male figure that's coming in somehow into this equation in the fifth house. Then in the sixth house, we have the sixth house is your house of work. It's your house of your workplace, your work colleagues, your work projects. It's also your daily routines around that. And it's also your health and diet, your lifestyle, and it's the house of pets. Okay, so now with Libra eye balance coming in, it's bringing that exactly what needs to come in. It's the balance. You need to bring balance into this house. So perhaps you've been through a rough period, or things have been a bit in turmoil, and now you're going to be entering a more balanced and harmonious period. Or you may just need to bring in a bit of charm and refinement into this house. So you may be refining what is going on in this house. You may be refining your work project, or refining your lifestyle or your diet. You must always remember that this, because Libra is the scales and balance, it's also about negotiation and mediation. So you may be having to bring those elements into your sixth house. Perhaps it's a workplace issue, or it's your lifestyle. You perhaps need to negotiate with other members of your family to change certain things. But always your needs need to be accounted for. They need to be expressed, and they need to be accounted for. So don't let go of your needs in favor of somebody else's. Okay. But this card is always about partnership of some kind, or mutual support. So it may be worthwhile at this time to be linking up with somebody else who's going to help you in this house. You'll have the mutual support and like-mindedness. You may also have to make a choice or a decision in this house. Best make it. Don't let the universe step in, because you may not like the outcome. So rather go for what it is that you feel you need to do in this house. This card is also about rules and fairness coming in. You may need to bring this in some way. Legal matters and contracts could be coming up for you. Perhaps you're changing a job, or you're changing something, or there's some reorganization going on. From a work point of view, this card can also be about the arts, fashion and beauty. So anything to do with that, any kind of, whether it's music, dancing, artistic work, creative work, whatever it is, fashion and beauty, any aspect of that could be coming in for you now. So you may be going into this in some way. Perhaps it's a new work path for you. Or it could be that you are bringing elements of this into your health and diet. Perhaps you're needing to sort of take a good look at yourself and how to make your life more balanced, more harmonious, and bring in a bit of romance and a bit of beauty and sort of peace and harmony. That's what you want to bring in with this card. From a lifestyle and health and diet point of view, balance, as I said, balance and refinement is important, because Libra can, sometimes, because it's ruled by Venus, it can bring in a bit of overindulgence and, sort of eating too many sweet things and so on. So just be aware of that, and the love of luxury and pampering and so on. And there's nothing wrong with that from a lifestyle point of view. If you enjoy that and it's going to help you, just don't go overboard with that. Then in the 7th house, we have fire element desire. So now the 7th house is your house of relationships, close personal relationships, and also a business partnership, any kind of close personal relationship that you're involved in at this time. And so it's normally a love relationship or a business partnership that you're busy with. So with this card, it's basically, it brings in a lot of passion, a lot of desire, courage and daring and confidence. So perhaps you are wanting to really take your relationship to the next level, or you are going after a particular relationship at this time, which is very, very important for you, and you want to cement it down now into a more committed relationship, okay? So it could be that, but you're fired up. It brings up a fired up energy, ready to get started. It's got a spontaneity aspect to it. You may be making changes as well. They could be really quite dramatic. As I said, maybe you've found somebody, you want to bring them fully into your life, so you're now going after this relationship with everything you've got. You may have an epiphany or a wake-up call of some kind in this house as well. So this could be to do with an existing relationship. Perhaps you've realized something and you're now taking action on it. You're now actually really going to be moving forward with it, or changing something to do with the relationship. You could also have a very supportive and protective partner come into your life, or that your current partner is showing this now. They're very supportive and protective of you, and that's very, very helpful. And they may be enthusiastic and helpful, with whatever it is that you're trying to do as a couple. It could also be that you need to be very honest at this time, and you may need to act assertively with this other person, whether it's a business partnership or a love relationship. You may need to act assertively to bring in clarity and get things clear. So perhaps the relationship has been drifting, and you now need to get clarity on that and what you want to do, and take the relationship to the next level, or you need to change or fix something about it. But it's about being honest and getting your cards on the table and getting clear. I'm just going to close the door one moment. Okay, so with we're now moving on to the 8th house. The 8th house does also kind of continue on from the 7th house. The 8th house is the deeper sexual side of a committed relationship. So it's everything to do with sex, death, and rebirth. So it's symbolic death as well, or symbolic rebirth. But sex does very much come into the 8th house. It's important. It's an important part of a relationship, or it could just be your greatest sexual side. It's also the house of, as I said, things falling away, endings and beginnings, things coming out of the ashes of something that was there before. So it's a rebirth of something. It's also the house of big finance. So this is investments, insurances, taxes, assets, banking, accounting, legacies and inheritances, anything like that. It's all the issues around that. It's also anything to do with handling somebody else's money, or handling money on behalf of other people. So that could be a profession for you at this time. And it also, the 8th house has a lot of a darker side to it. It's kind of a secretive house. It's got a lot of darker, what's going on underneath. It's normally ruled by Pluto. So there's control. It's a control house. And there's a lot that goes on in this house. So with your destiny coming in, this is bringing sort of a disruptive energy into here. And it's about really trusting yourself and trusting your deep inner self at this time to get you through whatever is going on in this house. So there's going to be disruption. There's going to be pressure of some kind. And you just could also be feeling out of step with others. You could just be feeling different. So this house covers, as I said, deeper committed relationships between love partners, but it's also business partners. So it's the merging of your emotional and your material resources when you merge them into a company, or when you merge them into a partnership. So it's all the issues that go on around that. So you could just be feeling a bit out of step with your partner, that things aren't, you're kind of not on the same page. Or it could be that you just need to work alone at this time to find your path. So there's quite a deep self-analysis aspect to this card. You're searching for your own truth. You need to work out what is right for you and how to move forward in this house to achieve what you need to do. You may, it's about trust as well. This card has a lot of issues to do with trust. Trusting another, trusting the process, and trusting yourself to find the answers. You may also need to make a few sacrifices to achieve good results in this house. So whether this is in a partnership or with your finances, you may need to just trim a few things and work at it and follow your own path and to achieve what you need to do. So it's a taking stock card again. This is coming up. It's come up several times now. You won't be able to force issues, however, with this house, with this card. There is a fate and a destiny element to this. So whatever is going on is fated. You've just got to weather through it all. You must just follow your own path. It's a little bit like pioneering this house, because everybody's situation is different. Everybody's got different circumstances, and you're not going to get the support and advice from others at this time. You really have to find it for yourself to work out what is going to be the right thing for you to be doing in this house. Then in the 9th house, we have Sun Spirit. 9th house is the house of all things international, all things foreign. So this is you meeting the world, or the world meeting you in some way. And it's got that international element. It's also got a travel and adventure element to it as well. So, also exploration. But you don't necessarily have to be traveling. It could just be sort of exploration of belief systems and your faith and your religion and your philosophy, or higher education. So this is university level or adult education. So it's got all of those elements in it. It's the exploration of the higher, the higher mind, and learning and finding meaning in things. So anything foreign, any kind of cultural differences, anything to do with that. It's also it's the house of teaching, if that is a profession for you, or something you want to do. Publishing comes in here, promotional work of all kinds. It's also relationship to in-laws, and it's the higher courts and the law. Okay, so there could be legal matters you're dealing with, or you're just studying the law. Anything like that comes in. This house is very much also about faith and gaining wisdom in things. And that comes from exploration, from traveling, from mixing with people, from different parts of the world, and running a business like that as well. That can all come in. Or publishing, where you're reaching a much wider audience now. So with Sun Spirit coming in, this is a very fortuitous card. It's a lovely card to be having coming to you. It's happiness, joy. There's vitality and confidence in there. There's leadership. You may have to step into a leadership role in some way. Something may occur and you just step in and, you take leadership, and therefore you are influential, you're charismatic, you're inspiring others. But when you take that leadership role, you gain recognition of some kind and you'll be in the spotlight. Or it could just be that you're getting rewards or prizes, something coming to you in this house. So it's about letting your light shine, really. It could be that you're involved in stage work, or you're busy with children in this house as well. But very positive conditions coming up in here. I mean, it could also be a legal issue that you're waiting for an outcome on. And this, is a very positive card to be having in that situation. Or it could just be that you're doing, you're working, you're publishing something, or you're busy with, some kind of endeavor, a field of study, something like that. And this is going to give you a lot of confidence and a lot of happiness, and you're probably going to do very well in whatever it is. It could also be that you are going to be taking a trip to some sort of sunny place, like a tropical place, and enjoy a break there. Very necessary at this time. Perhaps that's all you need to do, just to boost your mojo. Take a trip to a sunny place and relax and enjoy that whole environment to boost your happiness and your joy. Okay. It could also be that you're planning a summer event, or when the weather is warmer, some kind of event, which is like a party, could even be some kind of function with children and family, and it's quite a big event for you, and it's going to be very enjoyable, and lots of romance and enjoy and sunshine and sort of happiness around that event. Then in the 10th house, we have Taurus. 10th house is your house of career. your reputation, your fame, and your public status. It's also the house of authority figures, people that you look up to or admire, or it could be an authority figure in your home, like a family member or somebody at work or a guru or a mentor, something like that. And it's also the house of authorities in general. So now with the Taurus I have, this is very much a planting card. Okay, it's an earthy sign. So plant your garden of possibilities. There's fertile ground at this time. So you've got the opportunity to grow, and this card will bring in stability for you as well. It's about strength. It's about being practical and methodical and organized as well in this house. It's a very favorable time to be accumulating funds for whatever purpose, all right? So gathering money in whatever way, any kind of finance. So this is money, accounting, banks, figures, currency, possessions, ownership come in as well here, real estate, land. So could even be buying and selling land or buying and selling real estate, or perhaps as a career. Also nature, because it's land-based. You could be interested in a nature career, or working on the land in some way, or perhaps learning more about living close to nature and living off the land. This card is also about the arts, okay, as well. So this could be another career aspect for you, where you're involved in it in some way. So that's possibly the fame, where the fame and reputation is coming in. So that's music, singing, dance, culture, any kind of artistic endeavor, anything to do with the arts whatsoever. It all comes in under this. So it's all highly favored at this time, and possibly a new career or a new option for you, or it's going to be an opportunity for growth and planting possibilities. But the way to go about it is to be practical, methodical, and organized. Then in the 11th house we have Moon Soul. The 11th house is your house of friendships. And it's also your house of your own hopes and dreams, your wishes for yourself, and your hobbies and your interests. And it's the house of your contacts and your networks. And this can be through groups as well. So a group setting, so where you're in an association or a club or a society, or you're just with others in some kind of group setting. So now with the Moon Soul, this is about being very sensitive at this time. So it may be to do with a friendship. You just need to go with your gut feelings at this time. So what is your deepest gut feel right now? You may just be feeling very sensitive. Emotions could be high. This is also about your dreams as well. So whether this is a physical dream that you're following or something that you're dreaming about, the moon is going to bring that in for you. You're sifting and searching for information, and giving perhaps ideas coming to you. It could also be that somebody that you're associated with at this time is requiring counseling, or you are perhaps giving them counseling. So it could be a friendship. There could be some issues going on. But women's issues and women's wisdom all come in with this card. So you could be, enjoying women's wisdom within a group setting, or it's a friendship that you have. You're perhaps really drawing on that, or you are giving that to a friendship. This card is also about cycles of all kinds, ups and downs, fluctuations, and also about food and nurturing. So it's a very nurturing sign, food and looking after yourself and looking after others. So that all could be coming in, as I said, with a friendship. Perhaps there's something going on, or it's just perhaps nurturing your dreams as well. And it could be, sort of something culinary coming in there. Perhaps it's an interest or a hobby that you want to nurture. Perhaps it's something to do with food. But it's all about that. It's dreams and the cycles that go on, and nurturing and sensitivity. With the moon, your habits also are coming under review. So have a look at that and other people's habits, but it's probably more specifically about your own particular habits, how you are in group settings, and in your relations, your friendships as well. It's also about memories and the past. Just don't live there. You can be nostalgic and look back and see what went on, and enjoy your memories of somebody possibly, but just don't live there, because it does create sort of a bit of depression and anxiety about that. Shyness could also be coming in. Perhaps you're wanting to join a new group, or you're wanting to sort of approach a new friendship, or you're enjoying something to do with that, but shyness is coming in. This card can also bring in things to do with fame and crowds, which may have sort of come up as well earlier on. So it's possible that you are entering a group, or perhaps your fame is sort of being noticed, or you're joining crowds of people to do with certain things, and you're part of a crowd, or it's a networking situation. So it's going to be highlighted for you. It could also just be going with the crowd, simple as that. There could also be something hidden or secret coming up in this, because the moon sometimes casts a veil over things, and then things come out, they just come out. So it could be to do with a friendship or something going on. It could also make the situation a bit cloudy. There's no clear course of action for you. You're just not sure which way to go. So that's why you need to look at your gut feelings, access your deep emotions. Also, someone from the past may come back, like an old friend you may meet up again, or connect with again. Then in the 12th house, we have another moon card, Cancer, I feel. So it's very similar to the 11th house. This is 12th house is everything to do with the unconscious. So this is your inner self, your inner drives and motivations, and your really deep-seated self. And it's also the house of spirituality, meditation, mysticism, and healing. Whether that is a profession for you, or you're just entering that and finding ways to cope with certain things in your life. It's also the house of reflection and withdrawal. So this is where you go when you need to be quiet and you need to have some solitude and seclusion to just sort things out. It's also the house of escapism. So this could be a fun escape, or just enjoying an escape of some kind, but it can also be too much, where you sort of slip off and you go into addictions of all kinds. So it's also the house of service to others. So you could be in a profession, a helping profession, which is dealing with others that are in this situation, or just a service profession in general, or just you're serving others in some way. This is also the house of karmic lessons. And it's the house of what you experience when you are in an institution of some kind. So that can be a hospital, or it could be a library, or a university even, or a banking institution, or a state government, or even a prison. So it's either you going there for some purpose, or you're going there with somebody else. And your experiences that occur to you while you're there, what you learn while you're there. So with Cancer, I feel you must trust your deep feelings yet again. Go with your feelings in this. Women's wisdom and is going to be very strong again. Women, mothers, nurturing, protection, anything around that. You could even have a few domestic issues which you have to deal with around women, possibly. So it's also about memories and possibly living in the past, or experiencing feelings of guilt. As I said, you can look back and learn from that, but don't live there, okay? It could just be that you're remembering somebody from the past. Perhaps it's your mum, somebody's passed away, and you're just sort of reliving a few things around that and sorting a few things out. And if you need emotional support, then seek it, okay? It could also be that you're particularly moody at this time, or overly sensitive. So just be aware of that as well, and get to the root of that. Why is that? Okay, because this is the house of the unconscious after all. It could also be that you are accessing your creative side, which comes with the moon as well. And this is creative imagination, culinary interests, or just really nurturing and diving into the culinary arts. Anything to do with nurturing and protection and looking after others. It could also be that you need to, at this time, to withdraw periodically, just go through a period of withdrawal, and just spend some time alone to sort yourself out. And also it could be that you are experiencing a rise in your psychic senses of some kind. Okay, Capricorn, I hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. It will circulate it for other people who may need to see this at this time. I hope you have a great month, and I will see you next time. Take care.